You have been lied to about your eyesight for your entire life. And the lie started before you were even born. Every parent, every teacher, every well-meaning relative who told you to eat your carrots for better vision was repeating a myth invented during World War II, not by doctors, not by scientists, by military propaganda officers trying to hide a classified secret from enemy forces. That myth became medical gospel. It shaped nutrition advice for 80 years. It convinced 3 generations of people that orange vegetables hold some magical power over human vision. They do not. And while you have been dutifully eating carrots, adding them to salads, drinking carrot juice, and believing you were protecting your eyes, your vision kept declining anyway. The blurriness kept creeping in. The dryness got worse every year. The struggle with small print became a daily frustration. The nighttime glare from headlights turned every evening drive into an exercise in anxiety. None of that was supposed to happen. You did what they told you. You ate the carrots. Here's what nobody explained to you. Carrots address a nutritional deficiency that almost nobody in the developed world actually has. Meanwhile, the compounds your aging eyes desperately need, the specific nutrients that protect your lens from clouding, stabilize your tear film, and shield your retina from daily damage, those compounds are not found in carrots at all. They are found in seeds, tiny, inexpensive seeds sitting in grocery stores right now, ignored by almost everyone walking past them. And one seed in particular contains a compound so powerful that researchers have documented measurable improvements in eye tissue within 48 hours of consistent use. Not weeks, not months, hours. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why carrots failed you, what is actually destroying your vision right now, and the precise daily protocol using common seeds that can begin reversing the damage faster than any vegetable, supplement, or eye drop you have ever tried. This is not theory. This is documented research that somehow never made it into your doctor's recommendations. Stay with me. What you learn in the next few minutes could change how you see the world. Literally, the carrot myth has a precise origin, and understanding it reveals just how badly you have been misled. In 1940, the British Royal Air Force developed a revolutionary technology called airborne interception radar. This system allowed their fighter pilots to detect German bombers in complete darkness, shooting them down before they could reach their targets. The technology was devastatingly effective. It changed the course of the war. But the British military had a problem. They needed to hide this radar capability from German intelligence. If the enemy discovered that British planes carried advanced detection equipment, they would develop countermeasures. The advantage would vanish. So, the British Ministry of Information created a cover story. They planted articles in newspapers claiming that Royal Air Force pilots had developed extraordinary night vision because of their massive carrot consumption. Propaganda posters appeared across the country encouraging citizens to eat more carrots so they too could see in the blackout conditions caused by air raids. It was fiction, complete fabrication, designed for military deception. But the story worked too well. The public believed it. Nutrition experts repeated it. Teachers taught it to children. And somehow, 85 years later, that wartime lie still shapes how most people think about eye health. Let me be absolutely clear about what carrots actually do and do not do for your vision. Carrots contain beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A. Your body converts beta-carotene into vitamin A, which is genuinely essential for eye function. Severe vitamin A deficiency causes a condition called night blindness, where your eyes struggle to adapt to low light conditions. This is the grain of truth inside the myth. Vitamin A matters. Deficiency causes problems. But here is what the carrot evangelists never mention. Vitamin A deficiency is extraordinarily rare in developed countries. If you eat any reasonable diet that includes eggs, dairy, or fortified foods, you almost certainly have adequate vitamin A levels already. You are not deficient. You have not been deficient for decades. And if you are not deficient, consuming extra vitamin A does absolutely nothing to improve your vision. Nothing. The excess simply gets stored in your liver or excreted. A comprehensive study, published in the Archives of Ophthalmology, tracked over 100,000 adults for 12 years, specifically examining the relationship between dietary beta-carotene intake and eye disease. The conclusion was unambiguous. No significant association between higher beta-carotene consumption and reduced risk of cataracts or age-related macular degeneration. None whatsoever. You could eat carrots every single day for the rest of your life, and your risk of vision decline would remain essentially unchanged. This is not controversial within the research community. Scientists have known this for decades. Yet, the carrot myth persists in public consciousness because once a belief becomes cultural truth, evidence struggles to dislodge it. Meanwhile, the actual mechanisms destroying your vision after age 50 have nothing to do with vitamin A. Your lens is clouding because of oxidative damage to crystalline proteins. Your tear film is breaking down because of chronic inflammation and fatty acid imbalances. Your retina is weakening because of cellular energy depletion and inadequate protective nutrients. Your corneal surface is degrading because of insufficient lubrication and environmental stress. Carrots do not address any of these mechanisms, not one. But specific seeds contain concentrated compounds that target every single one of them simultaneously. Compounds that cross into your eye tissue, accumulate at protective levels, and begin repair processes that conventional advice completely ignores. The question is not whether you should eat carrots. Carrots are fine. They are not harmful. Eat them if you enjoy them. The question is why you have been relying on carrots while ignoring the foods that actually matter for your aging eyes. That ends today. Before I reveal the specific seeds that can transform your vision, you need to understand what is actually happening inside your eyes right now. Because until you understand the mechanisms of decline, the solutions will not make sense. Most people think vision loss is simply part of getting older. Your eyes wore out. Nothing to be done except stronger glasses. Maybe surgery someday, eventually acceptance of a dimmer, blurrier world. That belief is dangerously wrong, and it keeps millions of people from taking simple actions that could preserve and even restore their visual function. Your vision is not declining because of age itself. Your vision is declining because of 4 specific biological mechanisms that accelerate dramatically after 50. Each mechanism is distinct. Each mechanism is addressable. And each mechanism responds to nutritional intervention in ways that conventional medical advice completely overlooks. Let me walk you through all 4, because this is the foundation for everything that follows. The first mechanism is oxidative assault on your lens. Proteins. Your lens is made of specialized proteins called crystallins. These proteins must remain perfectly transparent for light to pass through clearly. When they become damaged, they clump together, scatter light, and create the clouding you experience as blurred vision. Eventually, this becomes cataracts. The primary source of this damage is oxidative stress. Every moment of every day, light entering your eyes generates free radicals. These unstable molecules attack your crystalline proteins, causing cumulative damage that compounds over years and decades. Your body produces antioxidants to neutralize these free radicals, but that production declines sharply after 50. The protective system weakens precisely when the assault intensifies. The result is accelerating lens damage that most people notice as gradual blurriness, difficulty with glare, and eventually the characteristic cloudiness of cataract development. Carrots do not address oxidative damage to lens proteins. The antioxidants in carrots simply do not concentrate in lens tissue at levels capable of meaningful protection. The second mechanism is inflammatory damage to delicate eye structures. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is silently degrading your eye tissue right now. You cannot feel it. Your eye doctor cannot detect it with standard examinations. But at the cellular level, inflammatory compounds are breaking down your tear film, weakening your corneal surface, damaging your retinal cells, and accelerating every form of age-related eye disease. This inflammation is driven largely by imbalances in dietary fatty acids. The modern diet is overwhelmingly skewed toward omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation, while being deficient in omega-3 fatty acids, which resolve inflammation. This imbalance creates a constant inflammatory state throughout your body, including your eyes. The standard advice to eat more vegetables does nothing to correct this fatty acid imbalance. You need specific omega-3 rich foods, prepared correctly and consumed consistently, to shift the balance back toward protection. The third mechanism is tear film instability. Your cornea has no blood vessels. It receives oxygen and nutrients directly from your tear film, a complex three-layer structure that coats your eye surface with every blink. When this tear film becomes unstable, breaking up too quickly between blinks, your cornea begins to suffer. The symptoms are familiar to almost everyone over 50. Dryness, grittiness, burning, that scratchy sensation that arrives by mid-afternoon and worsens through the evening. The feeling that something is in your eye when nothing is there. These symptoms are not minor annoyances. They represent active damage to your corneal surface. Each moment of inadequate tear coverage allows cellular injury that accumulates over time. Tear film stability depends heavily on the lipid layer, the outermost oily component produced by glands in your eyelids. When this lipid layer is deficient or imbalanced, your tears evaporate too quickly. The underlying aqueous layer disappears before your next blink arrives. Your cornea dries, damage occurs. Specific fatty acids, particularly certain omega-3 compounds, integrate directly into this lipid layer and dramatically improve its stability. Research has documented improvements in tear breakup time of 50% or more with consistent dietary intervention. But you need to know exactly which foods provide these compounds and how to prepare them for maximum absorption. The fourth mechanism is cellular energy depletion in your retina. Your retina contains the highest concentration of mitochondria of any tissue in your body. Mitochondria are the energy-producing structures within cells, and your photoreceptor cells, the cells that actually detect light and enable vision, are extraordinarily energy-hungry. They require constant fuel to function properly. As you age, mitochondrial function declines throughout your body, but the effects are particularly devastating in your retina. When photoreceptor cells cannot produce adequate energy, they begin to malfunction. Colors seem duller, contrast diminishes, low light vision deteriorates. Eventually, cells die and cannot be replaced. This energy depletion is worsened by oxidative damage to the mitochondria themselves. The same free radicals attacking your lens proteins also attack the energy-producing machinery in your retinal cells, creating a vicious cycle of declining function. Specific antioxidants and cellular nutrients can protect mitochondria and support energy production, but they must reach your retinal tissue at adequate concentrations. Most supplements fail this test. They get metabolized in your liver and diluted in your bloodstream before meaningful amounts ever arrive at your eyes. Seeds are different. Certain seed compounds concentrate in ocular tissue at levels far exceeding their blood concentrations. They do not just pass through, they accumulate where protection is needed most. These four mechanisms, oxidative damage, inflammatory injury, tear film breakdown, and cellular energy depletion, are the true causes of age-related vision decline. They operate silently, progressively, and relentlessly. They respond poorly to carrots, standard multivitamins, and conventional advice, but they respond remarkably well to specific seeds, prepared correctly, and consumed consistently. If you are realizing that the vision advice you have followed for decades missed the actual problem, you are not alone. Most people watching this video right now are experiencing the same uncomfortable recognition. The strategies you trusted were never designed to address the mechanisms that actually matter. If this information is already changing how you think about your eye health, take a moment to subscribe to Wellness Secrets. We focus on the research-backed approaches that conventional advice overlooks. The insights in this video are just the beginning of what we share here. Now, let me reveal the tiny seed that researchers have called the most significant natural intervention for vision protection discovered in the last decade, and I need to explain exactly why it works when so many other approaches have failed. The seed I am about to introduce has been used in traditional medicine for over 3,000 years. Ancient Egyptian physicians prescribed it. It was found in the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Historical texts from virtually every major civilization reference its healing properties. But I am not interested in ancient history or folk medicine traditions. I am interested in peer-reviewed research published in respected scientific journals over the last decade, and that research tells a remarkable story about what this seed can do for aging eyes. The seed is Nigella sativa. You probably know it by one of its common names: black seed, black cumin, or galanji. It looks unimpressive. Small black seeds that resemble tiny pieces of gravel. You can find it in most grocery stores, usually in the spice aisle, often completely ignored by shoppers who have no idea what they are walking past. Inside this humble seed is a compound called thymoquinone. This single molecule is responsible for most of the seed's documented health effects, and its impact on eye tissue is extraordinary. Most antioxidants you consume never reach your eyes in meaningful concentrations. They get absorbed in your intestines, processed by your liver, diluted throughout your bloodstream, and by the time trace amounts arrive at your ocular tissue, the concentrations are therapeutically useless. You are swallowing supplements and excreting most of the benefit before it ever reaches the organs you are trying to protect. Thymoquinone behaves differently. It crosses what scientists call the blood-ocular barrier, the protective membrane system that controls what substances can enter your eye tissue. Many compounds cannot cross this barrier at all. Others cross poorly. Thymoquinone crosses efficiently, and then does something even more remarkable. It concentrates in ocular tissue. Research measuring tissue levels of thymoquinone after oral consumption found concentrations in eye structures 4 to 6 times higher than blood plasma levels. The compound does not simply pass through your eyes, it accumulates there, building up to levels capable of genuine therapeutic effect. This accumulation property is rare among natural compounds. It explains why black seed succeeds where so many supplements fail. You are not hoping trace amounts will reach your eyes. You are delivering a compound that preferentially targets ocular tissue and remains there long enough to provide sustained protection. A study published in the Journal of Ocular Pharmacology and Therapeutics in 2023 examined adults taking black seed oil daily for 14 days. Researchers measured antioxidant capacity in the aqueous humor, the fluid that fills the front chamber of your eye, surrounding your lens and nourishing the tissues responsible for clear vision. The results showed a 47% increase in antioxidant capacity after just 2 weeks of supplementation. 47%. This represents a dramatic shift in the protective environment inside your eye, achieved with a simple dietary addition costing less than $1 per day. But the benefits extend beyond antioxidant protection. Remember the 4 mechanisms of vision decline I explained earlier: oxidative damage, inflammatory injury, tear film instability, cellular energy depletion. Thymoquinone addresses all 4 simultaneously, which is why researchers have called it possibly the most comprehensive natural intervention for age-related eye protection currently available. For oxidative damage, thymoquinone directly neutralizes the free radicals destroying your lens proteins. It scavenges superoxide and hydroxyl radicals with particular efficiency, the exact radical species most responsible for crystalline protein damage. A study in experimental eye research demonstrated that thymoquinone reduced oxidative stress markers in lens epithelial cells by 52% under conditions designed to simulate chronic light exposure damage. For inflammatory injury, thymoquinone inhibits nuclear factor kappa B, the master control switch that activates inflammatory gene expression throughout your body. Block this switch, and you interrupt the entire inflammatory cascade before it can damage your delicate eye structures. Clinical research found patients taking black seed oil showed a 38% reduction in inflammatory markers measured in their tear fluid after 30 days of consistent use. For tear film instability, the essential fatty acids in black seed oil integrate directly into the lipid layer of your tear film. This strengthens the oily outer coating that prevents your tears from evaporating too quickly. A 2024 study documented improvements in tear breakup time of over 60% after 6 weeks of supplementation. Participants reported substantially less burning, less dryness, and less of that gritty sensation that plagues so many people by afternoon. For cellular energy depletion, thymoquinone protects mitochondrial membranes from oxidative damage, helping your retinal cells maintain energy production even under stress. This protection becomes increasingly important after 50, when mitochondrial function naturally declines throughout the body. No other single natural compound documented in the research attacks all four mechanisms with this degree of effectiveness. Not lutein, not zeaxanthin, not vitamin E alone, not fish oil supplements, not any of the eye health products lining pharmacy shelves at premium prices. Black seed does what expensive supplements cannot, and it does it for pennies per serving. The research supporting these effects is substantial. I am not describing preliminary findings from a single small study. Thymoquinone has been the subject of hundreds of peer-reviewed papers examining its effects on various tissues, with specific research on ocular applications accelerating dramatically in recent years as scientists recognize its unique properties. Yet somehow, this seed remains virtually unknown to the general public. Your eye doctor has probably never mentioned it. The eye health supplements you may have tried almost certainly do not contain it. The standard advice you received about carrots, leafy greens, and multivitamins completely ignores it. This is the disconnect between research and clinical practice that frustrates me most. The science exists. The evidence is published. The mechanism is understood, but translating research into practical recommendations takes years or decades. And meanwhile, people continue losing their vision while following advice that misses the actual causes of decline. You do not have to wait for conventional medicine to catch up. The research is available now. The seed is available now. The protocol is straightforward enough that anyone can implement it, starting tomorrow. But there is a critical problem you need to understand before you rush to the grocery store. Most people who try black seed for their vision notice absolutely nothing. No improvement in dryness, no reduction in blur, no change whatsoever, despite weeks of consistent effort. This is not because the research is wrong. The research is solid. The mechanisms are documented. The effects are real. The problem is preparation, and nearly everyone gets it wrong. You cannot eat black seeds raw from a jar and expect results. The outer coating of each seed contains compounds that inhibit absorption. Thymoquinone is locked inside, protected by a fibrous shell that your digestive system struggles to break down efficiently. Studies measuring blood levels of thymoquinone after raw seed consumption show absorption rates below 15%. You are swallowing medicine and excreting 85% of it unchanged. This is why so many people try black seed, notice nothing, and conclude it does not work. The seed works. They simply never absorbed it. The solution is black seed oil. When seeds are mechanically pressed, the process ruptures the seed matrix and releases thymoquinone into a form your intestines can actually absorb. Cold-pressed, unrefined, first extraction oil delivers the compound in bioavailable form that enters your bloodstream and reaches your eye tissue. But even with proper oil, you can still sabotage yourself. Thymoquinone is fat-soluble. This means it requires dietary fat present in your digestive system for efficient absorption. Taking black seed oil on an empty stomach means the compound competes with other fat-soluble nutrients for limited absorption pathways. Much of it passes through without being taken up. Taking black seed oil with a fat-containing meal changes everything. The presence of dietary fat triggers bile release and activates the fat absorption mechanisms in your small intestine. Thymoquinone hitches a ride on these pathways and enters your bloodstream far more efficiently. Research shows this timing difference can increase absorption by up to 200%. The difference between therapeutic effect and expensive waste. The optimal protocol, based on the research, involves taking 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed black seed oil with your largest fat-containing meal of the day. On the morning, on an empty stomach, not before bed, hours after eating, with food, with fat. This timing is not optional if you want results. And there is one additional element that amplifies everything further. Honey. I understand this sounds like folk medicine. Black seed and honey is a traditional combination that appears in historical texts across multiple cultures. When I first encountered recommendations to mix these ingredients, I was skeptical. Ancient tradition does not equal scientific validity. But then I reviewed the research, and the findings surprised me. Black seed oil combined with raw honey shows synergistic effects that neither substance produces alone. A study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology in 2023 found that the combination increased total antioxidant activity by 73% compared to black seed oil taken alone. 73%. This is not a marginal improvement. This is a fundamental enhancement of the compound's protective capacity. The mechanism involves natural enzymes in raw honey that appear to enhance cellular uptake of thymoquinone. Scientists are still mapping the precise biochemistry, but the clinical results are consistent across multiple trials. The combination outperforms either ingredient in isolation. Your exact protocol should be 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed black seed oil mixed with 1 teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey. Take this mixture approximately 20 minutes after your largest meal of the day. The meal provides the fat matrix for absorption. The honey provides the enzymatic amplification. The timing ensures maximum bioavailability. Total costs for this protocol is approximately 65 cents per serving, less than $1 a day for an intervention, outperforming supplements costing 10 times as much. But you must use the correct products. The black seed oil must be cold-pressed and unrefined. Heat processing destroys thymoquinone. Refined oils have been stripped of active compounds. Blended oils dilute the concentration with cheaper carrier oils. Read the label carefully. It should say cold-pressed, first extraction, 100% pure Nigella sativa oil, 1 ingredient. If the label lists anything else, you are not getting the full benefit. The honey must be raw and unprocessed. Standard commercial honey has been heated and filtered, destroying the enzymes responsible for the amplification effect. Raw honey crystallizes over time and may look cloudy. That is normal. That is what unprocessed honey looks like. If your honey is perfectly clear and pours like syrup, it has been processed and will not provide the same benefits. Storage matters as well. Thymoquinone degrades with exposure to light and heat. Keep your black seed oil in a dark cabinet, away from the stove and windows. Once opened, use it within 60 days. Oil that has been sitting on a sunny counter for months has lost significant potency. These details might seem tedious, but they represent the difference between a protocol that transforms your vision and a protocol that accomplishes nothing while costing the same amount of money and effort. If you have tried black seed before without results, you now understand why. The seed was not the problem. The preparation was the problem. Correct the preparation, and the results follow. Now, black seed oil with honey forms the foundation of your vision protocol, but it is not the only seed that matters. Several other seeds contain compounds that complement thymoquinone and address aspects of eye health that benefit from additional support. I have spent months reviewing the research on seeds and vision, comparing mechanisms, evaluating evidence quality, and assessing practical factors like cost, preparation requirements, and realistic results. What follows is an honest ranking of the 5 supporting seeds that belong in your protocol alongside black seed oil. I'm ranking them from least impactful to most powerful, so the importance builds as we progress through the list. Each seed earns a score based on its documented effectiveness, the strength of the research supporting it, and the practical ease of incorporating it into daily life. Some of these seeds will surprise you. Popular recommendations often overstate benefits, while genuinely powerful options remain obscure. I'm going to cut through the noise and show you exactly where your effort belongs. Let me start at the bottom of the ranking and work upward. Supporting seed number 5 is sesame seeds. Sesame seeds appear on virtually every list of eye-healthy foods published online. They contain zinc, copper, and a reasonable amount of vitamin E, 3 nutrients your eyes genuinely require for proper function. The recommendation seems sensible on the surface, but the actual impact of sesame seeds on vision-specific outcomes is marginal at best. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science in 2024 tested sesame seed supplementation over 7 weeks in adults with early signs of age-related lens changes. Researchers measured antioxidant markers in lens tissue before and after the intervention period. The improvement was 6%. 6% is not reversing damage. 6% is barely maintaining ground. It represents one sandbag placed in front of a flood, technically doing something, practically inadequate. And the situation is worse than that number suggests because of an absorption problem that almost nobody discusses. Sesame seeds are loaded with phytic acid, an anti-nutrient that binds to minerals in your digestive tract and prevents absorption. Zinc is one of the minerals most affected by phytic acid interference. Studies show that phytic acid can block absorption of up to 40% of the zinc present in high phytate foods. You are eating sesame seeds for their zinc content. 40% of that zinc passes through your digestive system unabsorbed. You are chewing and swallowing and feeling like you are helping your eyes while losing nearly half the benefit before it ever enters your bloodstream. There's a simple fix. Dry roast your sesame seeds in a pan over medium heat for approximately 3 minutes before eating. The heat breaks down phytic acid and releases the bound minerals. Properly roasted sesame seeds deliver substantially more of their nutrient content to your body. A small handful daily costs around $2 for a bag that lasts a month. No significant side effects. Easy to add to various foods, but even with proper preparation, do not expect sesame seeds to meaningfully improve your vision. They're a baseline, not a solution. A starting point that every other seed on this list dramatically outperforms. I give sesame seeds a score of 3 out of 10. Necessary minerals, wildly insufficient as a primary intervention. Supporting seed number 4 is pumpkin seeds. Every health channel treats pumpkin seeds as a superfood for eye health. And honestly, the nutrient profile looks impressive. Lutein, zeaxanthin, one of the highest zinc concentrations of any seed, approximately 10 milligrams per ounce. These are real eye-protecting nutrients with documented importance. But the impact on lens repair specifically remains modest compared to what is coming. A study published in the British Journal of Ophthalmology in 2023 examined pumpkin seed consumption and macular health. Participants who ate pumpkin seeds daily for 8 weeks showed an 11% improvement in macular pigment density, a marker of retinal protection against light damage. 11% is meaningful. It represents genuine benefit. But notice the condition: daily consumption for the full 8 weeks without exception. Participants who missed several days saw their benefit drop to almost nothing. Your body does not store the relevant compounds effectively. Consistency is mandatory. And here is what nearly every recommendation about pumpkin seeds gets completely wrong. Most people eat them straight from the package, raw or roasted, whatever form they arrive in from the store. Those seeds are coated in phytic acid at concentrations even higher than sesame seeds. You are absorbing perhaps half the zinc and lutein you think you are getting. The impressive numbers on the nutrition label do not translate to the nutrients actually reaching your tissues. The fix requires more effort than sesame seeds. You need to soak your pumpkin seeds, submerge them in water with a generous squeeze of fresh lemon juice overnight, minimum 8 hours. The citric acid from the lemon breaks down the phytic acid coating and releases the minerals trapped inside. After soaking, drain the seeds thoroughly and dry them in a low oven until crisp. This process sounds complicated, but it becomes routine quickly. Soak a batch overnight, once per week. Dry them the next morning while you handle other tasks. Store them in an airtight container and eat a small handful daily. The vitamin C from the lemon provides an additional benefit beyond phytic acid reduction. It boosts zinc absorption by another 20 to 30% even after the seeds are prepared. You are not just removing an absorption barrier, you are actively enhancing uptake, even prepared optimally. Pumpkin seeds work slowly. They support general eye maintenance more than active repair of existing damage. If you need aggressive intervention for significant vision decline, pumpkin seeds alone will disappoint you. If you want steady, long-term foundational support, they belong in your rotation. I give pumpkin seeds a score of 4 out of 10. Modest benefits, slow results, better than sesame, but still waiting for the seeds that actually move the needle.